we're live. I'll introduce myself, Christy, and then you can take it away. How about that? All right, so my name's Ayanna Parent, aka Black Addict, and welcome to Phat Chat. Christy, all you.
All me.
All you.
And Winston too today too.
And Winston.
Hey, so we are Phat Chat. We are a real talk, community-based podcast that's going live stream today. And we are passionate about body positivity, movement, mindfulness, joy, wellness, all that good stuff. And one of our goals is to ways that people can be well and think differently and think outside the box. And we want to spotlight people who are doing that for themselves. So we're very excited today to have, I just got notified that we're live on Facebook.
Oh, that was that.
So funny. So we're very excited to have a special guest today. I'm going to try to say your name, Rodrigo. Souza. And we were going to let you introduce yourself. But first I want to talk about something that I want to out myself about something and invite other people to out themselves as well.
Please do.
I don't know if you guys know, but I am openly white. And, yeah. And I also I want to get this out of the way because I know a lot of you think I'm skinny, but I'm openly also a larger bodied person and doing fitness. So I feel like I've been living a sham my whole life, and I just want to get that out of the way. So I invite Ayanna and our guests today to be very open about who they are, and stop hiding behind, society's norms.
I can't stop laughing. I didn't know you were openly white.
I know. I'm just getting it out there. I also want to, before we get too silly, I want to invite people to really interact with us. So hopefully it's on Ayanna's Facebook page. So type in comments and questions there. We're going to be monitoring those for ourselves or for our guests today. So that's me. Who's next?
Our special guest is next. And you can share whatever you want, but I'd love you to sort of introduce the audience to, you have a really cool story, and I've been creeping you on Instagram for quite a while. And then I was like, oh my God, I want to have him on the podcast because I just, as a yogi, I totally relate to your sense about yoga, but it's also different because I'm not even close to your physical position in which you are in right now. So just share with the world sort of your story, and we'll just take it from there, and the audience will ask you questions, and we'll ask you questions, and welcome.
Okay, great. Thanks for having me today here at the show. My name is Rodrigo Souza. I'm from Brazil. I was born and raised in Brazil, but I live in Sweden, and I am a accessible yoga teacher. I fell from a cliff about 6 years ago, and I broke my back. I was climbing. I broke my back. It was a bad day. I had a spinal cord injury, complete, T3. I am paralyzed from chest down, from here. And after that, I jumped myself into yoga, and I am like in the process of educating myself to teach the disabled, the benefits of yoga can bring to you. I am openly disabled, I must say. And people generally they are afraid of use this word, disabled, disability. I'm open disabled. Now I live with my disability every day. I use the wheelchair to get around. I have a very visual disability. Everyone can see that I'm disabled. So I'm openly disabled. And yes, I teach yoga to newly injured folks. I work in this in IJO, a charity organization where we organize summer camps for newly injured folks. And I teach them mindfulness and I teach them yoga. And I work in as well in another organization where I teach mindfulness. I have this like mental wellness weekly, for kids like with autism, and kids with disabilities as well. So I've got these two fronts where I am like trying to bring wellness to my community, to this population. So yeah, that's me.
Can I ask, so what was your background with yoga and or mindfulness or meditation before your injury?
Well, it's like I didn't know much about yoga before my accident. I thought yoga was some kind of a physical exercise. I used to live in London before I moved to Sweden, and in my street they used to have a Bikram yoga studio, the hot yoga, and I used to go there like twice a week, sometimes once a week. But it's like I used to go there only to sweat it out, the alcohol I had drunk, and there was no philosophy. You got into the studio, 26 pose, done twice, you sweat like a pig, you had a shower, you go back home.
That's so true.
That was it. And then I was like, okay, this is yoga. Yoga is like, it's quite hard exercise.
Yeah.
I didn't know that yoga was, for all bodies. Everyone was welcome, large bodies, black bodies, disabled bodies, because I had that notion that's like yoga was, for the young, for the fit, for the able body, because I was one of them. And that's all bullshit. You girls know that.
I told him ahead of time we could swear.
Yeah, it's like, there was like 10 years ago, 12 years ago. So it's like, but after my accident, I got to learn yoga from this teacher called Matthew Sanford from Mind Body Solutions. He lives in Minnesota. And he's also in a wheelchair. He also has a spinal cord injury. And he's very philosophical. The way of his teaching is like connecting mind and body in like with minimal movements, and it's like I start to learn what yoga really is, a way of living and all that. So it's like so I actually start learning yoga like after my accident. Before it was just like an exercise, and I guess it's a very poor concept to see yoga as an exercise. If you think that way, you can take the biggest yogis on the world. They never did any exercise. You never see a picture of Jesus Christ, doing a headstand. You never see that. It's all in your mind. It's all the way you are towards yourself and towards other folks. So it's like, that is with yoga. And with mindfulness, I used to work in a hostel. Was like in London, was a shithole, and and I used to work as a DJ. And I was there one day, I think it was 2006, and a friend of mine came to me and said, "Rodrigo, I got this book for you. Read this. It's gonna change your life." And then I was like, "Oh, okay, thank you." I took the book, and the book was like The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle.
Yeah.
Amazing book. I read that book about 15 times. I have that on my phone, and then I always listen to it when I'm going back and forth to Europe and Latin America. It's like 11 hours flights, and the book is like 7 hours and a half. Then I listen to the book very often. And they have inside the book, they have these exercises, like watch the thinker, to observe the ego, the thoughts that you have in your mind, and work on them. So it's like I start meditating through that exercise, So the meditation came before yoga. I start meditating like in 2006. I was like 24 years old. So it's like, but it's like, was like very, very seldom. But after my accident, I start doing it daily. Today I do it daily. I meditate about 40 minutes a day. When I've got pain, 2 hours a day, I do it very, very often. Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Do you actually use the mindfulness to address your pain in your body? Do you connect those? As you're saying, we don't necessarily connect that together. And but with trauma of any sort, emotional or physical, I'd love to hear you speak about how that connects.
Yeah, I've got like this pain. They call it neuropathic pain. I acquired it after my injury. It's due to my spinal cord injury. I've got pain all the time. Yeah. I've got pain right now. I'm talking to you now, and then I've got pain. That's why I'm moving all the time. Mm-hmm. It's like sometimes it's very low. Sometimes it's very high. That's why I actually come to Brazil and stay in Brazil over the winter. Because if I stay in Sweden, it gets very cold over the winter there. And then my muscles get really tight, and then my nerve pain goes up the roof. Anyway, there is this mindfulness teacher called Vijamala Birch. She is a Kiwi. She's from New Zealand, and she has a NGO called Breathworks, and she lives in the UK. And she also has a spinal cord injury, and she designed a course how to deal with nerve pain through mindfulness. Wow. There is a set of courses, a set of exercises that you do, that you can. It's not that the pain goes away, the pain still is there. It's not like taking a morphine, or it's like an opioid or something, but it's like you get used to it, you take your mind away from it, and there is like a series of exercises of depending when my pain is high or my pain is low. I use different exercise. Sometimes I need to lie down, and then I do like a body scan. Sometimes I'm out, so I try to focus on the other things. So it's like it's a great tool. It's to have it, and it's like I have had, I don't know, 6 or 7 different neurologists since my accident, and I have tried so many stuff. It's like medicines, like antidepressants, everything against pain, and the only thing that actually helped me, it's mindfulness and yoga and adaptive yoga, both natural and sunshine. So it's like 3 things, all natural. It's just like and I'm still learning, and I'm still trying new stuff, and see what works best. But I'm doing fine, I guess, and thanks to the people I've come across, like Vijamala Birch from mindfulness, Matthew Sanford from adaptive yoga. They're all folks that had spinal cord injury, and they are like the pioneers, because like they used yoga and mindfulness as a tool in their own bodies, to deal with their pain, to deal with their anxiety, with their disability, and now they are showing it off to the world. And I think that's a beautiful thing to do.
I do too.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, so I don't want to glorify the accident at all, because I think that your message is more than that. However, I know that for a lot of people watching, and for myself as well, I think hearing your story, maybe about, like, I can imagine the emotions attached to that and the shock, and your life is completely changed and different, and sort of, how did you get from, I don't even know if you were in a dark place, but how did you get from the place of understanding that to, you seem to be in a very beautiful place now to be able to understand it and move through it and access sunshine and light and yoga to be able to manage it. But was there a time where it was super difficult? And then how did you make that transition to being more hopeful?
Yeah, it's like I think everyone that suffers spinal cord injury, at the first year, it's like it's a very difficult time, because we humans, we like to have everything planned, and I had 33 years old when the accident happened, and I was planning to go to Nepal and study Buddhism, and then I was traveling, and I was doing so many cool stuff with my life, and then suddenly I felt, and then I broke my back, and then I was catapulted back to this place where I didn't know anything about my future. I didn't know what's going to happen. And I was in this rehabilitation center for like 3-4 months, learning how to pee, how to go to the toilet, how to put my socks on, how to drive a wheelchair. And it's like you don't know anything, you don't know how. It's like that, if you're going to be able to have a family, if you're going to be able to go traveling again, and one thing that actually helped me is to find that's why I think representativity is very important. I had my phone with me all the time, and then I remember that I was searching for folks that has gone through what I was going through. I work as a mentor today for newly injured folks, and I know the importance that it has, because it had it for me. You know, I found folks that had become father after spinal cord injury. I found folks that had open NGOs. They the life is different, but it doesn't mean it's worse. That you used to have before. And it's like there's so many beautiful examples out there, that folks that had gone through what I had gone through, and they had come up in the other side, brighter, wiser, and with this first of life that they, and the purpose that it gives you as well, that you might not had before. So it's like, of course, it didn't come from one day to the other. It's a process. I'm still living it. Sometimes I found myself comparing my myself now to my old self, like, oh, what would be my life, or you see somebody running, or you go to a place that is not accessible, and then you're like, oh shit, like there are so many times during the day that's like your disability is there showing you that you've got limitations. So it's like, it's a constant process that you deal with your mind. That's like, it's fine, man, you've got it under control, chill out, enjoy it, everything is okay. And so it's like,
wow.
the dark place is always there. You don't go through it. It's a process. Sometimes you just have a look at it and keep on going somewhere.
I'm writing all this down because you're like really super wise.
Sorry?
I'm writing all this down. Your words are incredible.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's like it's it's a thing that you need to do it daily, you know, to bring yourself back, you know. But I guess, oh, Ayanna, I guess it is for everyone, you know, because like you tell me, Rodrigo, I was thrown into a dark place, but it's like everybody goes through a dark place, man. Everyone, you know, everyone has like a death of a loved one, a close person, or, you know, of a family member. Everyone break a bone. Everyone, you know, everyone get old. Everyone, you know, acquire disability somehow. You know, mine is very visible. It's here, but like you have yours. You know.
Yeah, totally.
Christy have hers as well, and I was like, anybody. I mean, everyone is dealing with something darker. You know, everyone has that dark place that you need to take yourself from there and bring yourself to a brighter place. You know.
Yeah, so I'm so glad that you invited me to visit you in Brazil, because I would like to give you a hug right now. Because what you're saying is so true. Like, you physically, obviously, people can see, you know, what happened, or that you had something happen, right? And, you know, I'm very open about being a person in recovery and being addicted for a very long time. But, you know, people wouldn't know that when they first meet me. They wouldn't, unless I told them, right? So, you know, everyone is really dealing with something dark, and something we're all got something we're really moving through. And I just want to say again, something you were saying is like, look at the dark, but then almost like witness it and then move on. You know, like, I love that part. Just like take a moment and look at it, and then move on. And here we are, and I see you, and all. And it just, that's such a wonderful. And the piece about the family part, I was wondering about that. Like, that's got to be. I mean, as a woman, I can imagine that would be my first thought. Like, whoa, is that going to be taken away in some way? So I just want to validate that. That's a really honest thing to talk about. Yeah.
There's a bunch.
Did you ask something?
Oh, go ahead. Did you want to?
It's like I'm gonna swear a little bit, but it's like there is a phrase
we love it.
It's like Kurt Cobain. He's one of my favorite musicians, and he once said that's like no one dies a virgin. Life fucks us all, and it's like, this is true, you know. It's
that's perfect.
Everybody gonna go through a dark place, man. The dark place is welcome to everybody. If you're a human, you know the dark place, you know. You just need to know how long you're gonna be there, you know, and how to get yourself out, because like, it's there for everyone.
Right.
Yeah.
So true.
We have a bunch of positive feedback. People are just saying, agreeing with what you're saying in terms of the darkness. And one of the things I wrote down, which I just lost, is that you knew it was going to be worse, but it wasn't necessarily worse. It was just different. And what a way to view something without putting judgment on it. That when I took some restorative yoga classes, I really used that mantra to process some things that were going on for myself. And wow, it was just like, all my life I thought I had to judge the hell out of everything happening to me, that it was just like, oh, it's so terrible, and it's like, the pandemic is so terrible, and it's just, it doesn't have to be. It's different, you know, like you said, but it doesn't have to be worse. Not that the bad things are going to continue to happen. Thank you. But it's
you're welcome.
You quoted me, but it's really what Rodrigo said.
I found it.
Yeah.
Bumper sticker right there.
And Christy, it's like you look for the opportunities, if you look for the silver line while you are in the dark place, you're gonna find it. It's always there.
Always there.
So it's like and it's like of course I got so many new opportunities with this new life I'm living now, with this new me after injury. The Rodrigo that sits in a wheelchair and has pain. And it's like, there are a lot of beauty in it as well. You can see it, you can look for it. It's not that's like, oh, poo, no, you had an accident, you fucked up. No, it's like, it's not, like has I imagine it to be, but it's like, it's what I've got. So like, let's make the best out of it. And it's like that with everyone. It's like Ayanna has said that she had gone through like addictions and everything. It's like, for her, I guess I can ask her now. I guess it's the same thing. She needs to constantly remind her that, that is the way. There is a brighter place, because it's easily for you to jump into that self-pity kind of place that's like, or poor me, or now it's the pandemic, or what am I going to do? Or isn't it? It's like, come on, we live once.
Oh my God.
Go forward.
So true. Like there are times where during the pandemic specifically, I was like, fuck this. I want to drink, man. Everyone else is doing it.
Yeah.
Like, why can't I?
Yeah.
Why can't I have fun if I'm sitting at home, right? Like there's, I own a studio and the studio wasn't doing well. Like there was 1,000 reasons I could have totally relapsed. And some of it would have been like probably justified because the world was upside down. But like, when you look at it, when I stopped and was meditating, it was like, what is that going to do? Nothing. It's just going to bring me further down the dark path. And like you said, the lightness is always there. Lightness is always there. It's us who sort of interrupts the fact that it's not there, right? If we convince ourselves it's not there, it won't be there. So there was many times I had to get on my mat and sometimes not move. So the other thing you're making me think of is like, during this pandemic, like, my emotions are super heavy, and I had a hard time actually going through a full yoga class. So I like got super interested in chair yoga because it was helping me to, before I did something, just to do some general stuff sitting and then doing that in small increments instead of, it felt too much to like get on the mat and to do a full yoga class. It just, my body wasn't there. And so instead of judging it, I was like, what might help? And so I did chair, and now it's my new thing. I'm like, I'm in love with chair yoga. Like it's simple, it's easy. I can still breathe. I can still do everything that connects to mindfulness and movement in my chair. It doesn't feel like so overwhelming to my mind to just, sometimes I feel like I have to like, cause I'm like the yoga teacher, get on my mat and do this whole like fancy sequence, even if it's just myself, right? It's so silly. But like the chair yoga really just helped me to like get everything connected. So you're just an inspiration.
I'm glad it does it to you, and it's nice.
All right, and all this stuff is all well and good, but I also want to get to some nitty-gritty stuff. What do you wish the world knew or would help people who have different abilities? What's the language around ableism? What you're teaching to people, how to be inclusive? It's well and good if people who go through difficulties can get their own mind right.
Yeah, it's like Christy, good question. It's like I talked to you girls like before about the importance of representativity. And I think this is what lacks in the world today. We need to see disabled people on TV, on cinema, on arts, on culture, on politics. We need to see more disabled teaching yoga. We need to see disabled people taking important roles inside our community, because people need to see that's like, yes, we've got a disability, but we still can do things. Because like what I see nowadays, especially down here in Brazil, is like because there is not many disabled people taking part in a society that is visible. So it's like when you go out and people see you, it's like they're seeing a fucking Christmas tree in a wheelchair, you know. That's just like, you know, I being like congratulated. I being like congratulated because I went to a bar once, you know. It's like people come to me and say, "Oh, congratulations, you out," and it's like, I'm like, congratulations to what, man? What are you talking about? You know, people stopping me and ask my name and tell that they're gonna pray for me because they think that I am something that needs to be fixed. You know, that I'm not good enough. And it's like, I guess it's like we need to try to make, you know, disability like less scary and more normal. You know.
Yes.
There is a guy in a wheelchair. There is a guy in a wheelchair in the supermarket queue. Fine, you know, because now if there is a guy in a wheelchair in a supermarket queue, people either they think, "Oh, poor him," or they think, "Wow, look at him. He can go out and do shopping together by himself. Well done." It's like, fuck that, man. We're just normal people. We're just normal folks. You know, treat us like, you know, like normal folks, you know. Treat Christy like Christy. Treat like Ayanna, and Rodrigo like Rodrigo. Like treat you like you like to be treated. Not like, you know, a superhero, or not like someone that needs to be pitiful. It's like, and it's very difficult. And it's very difficult nowadays for you to find somebody that's like, you know, that gonna look through your eyes and see the person first. You know, if you don't have like somebody in your family or friends or someone that you know close to you that has a disability, you know, if you not surround someone that has a disability, you've got no idea how to treat disabled people. You know, you've got no clue. You know, disabled people come to you in the bus, sit beside you, you're like scary to talk to them, to touch them, and it's like, it seems like there is somebody from other planet. That's awful. That's something that we're gonna change. You know, society gonna change it, but we need more people like to represent disability visible. So, you know, it becomes something that people will not be scared of it anymore, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
It takes time to change.
It does take time.
Yeah.
You're such a good example.
It does take a lot of time.
Yeah, like just to look in my eyes and just be a person. Like, oh my God. Like, could we all do that?
And people think of it the same way.
It's
white privilege or other things where they think that they don't have the language, or they don't. But that's why. But people need to educate themselves about that kind of stuff too. It's not just your responsibility to educate able-bodied people about a disability. But I know exactly what you mean. I work with. One of my main jobs is to work with people who have had brain injuries and live with that and sometimes even overlapping physical disability. And people are always like, even just for me working with them, they're like, "Oh, you must be such a patient person," and like there's some kind of glorification of like disability where people can't like just talk about it normally. But the people I work with are amazing people, overcome lots of things, but they're just you know, living their lives, and I'm inspired by them, but not in the same way that some people are so inspired by people who, you know, in a way that's kind of infantilizing or like almost like, you know, trivializing the whole experience. So yeah, I can totally relate to that. And you're doing actually training for people who to incorporate that into their yoga practices. Is that something that I read about?
No, it's like the training. It's my teacher. He has Jivana Heyman. He has NGO they call Accessible Yoga, and inside this training, he he teach yoga teachers how to modify asanas, how to create variations of asanas, so they can open the class to folks who has a disability. For example, like you guys, a yoga teacher now. If I roll into your class, you might not know what you're gonna teach me. There is a tree pose, and it's like you're gonna learn how to use tree pose in a wheelchair, for example, or how to use a tree pose on someone that is on a mat, or how to use a tree pose with a senior that has no balance. That is the training about. We are trying to make yoga more accessible, not only for disabled folks, but for everybody. Right. But we are included in it. Yeah, we are included in it.
Totally.
Because like I get these DMs very often on my Instagram, because like folks see me and then it's like, wow, you're in a wheelchair, you're paralyzed from chest down, you're doing yoga, you're amazing. I'm listening, no man, I'm not amazing, because it's like folks still have that physical thing, like yoga being a physical practice, and it's something that we're going to change as well. We're going to change a lot of things.
I know. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's good to be part of it, but like talking to folks, sometimes you see that's like they have no idea, they have no clue. They know things very superficially, and inside disability is like that too, they, especially with like folks that has no contact with disabled people, they see us like something sad, something that needs to be fixed, something horrible. We are like I feel that I am like something that, for example, if somebody sees me on the streets rolling, I am a reminder for them that life can get much worse. Somebody look at me and say, yes, my life is not very good, but like look at that guy there, it could be worse, I could be in a wheelchair. So it's like folks has this mentality that's like having a disability is a really bad thing, and it's actually not. It's not, man. It's difficult, but it's not. I get DMs on my Instagram saying like, "Oh, your life might be so hard, and you were doing yoga, you're doing great," and I was like, "No." It's like, thank you for reaching out, but like my life is okay. I'm managing very well. I don't need your pity. I don't need like you to look down on me and try to fix me and it's like anything. Thank you so much. I'm cool with it, But you see, that's like they do that not because they are a bad person, or it's like, or they don't have manners. You see that they don't know, they don't have the information, It's because disability has always been portrayed for them as a awful thing,
Yeah, I was thinking of like in movies, and like you say, with representation, movies and things like that, they tend to take disability in a really weird, almost like an add-on, or if it's the feature of it, it's about overcoming it. The happy ending is to not be disabled anymore, and instead of like actually coping with it or learning, so true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's full of it out there, and it's like even on the news, it's like that's called sensationalism. They take these stories, to sell it, because it's beautiful, and people get that kick, that dose of inspirations, so they can feel, bad about themselves. As I just say to you, people think, oh yeah, I just came through a divorce. I am like without a job or anything, but at least I'm not disabled. You know, at least life is hard, but like it could be harder. You know, we are reminding them, you know, and it's like that mindset needs to be changed, because it would be so nice to be treated like everybody else, not someone that, you know, is a source of inspiration for everyone. It's tiring, you know, it's boring. It's like, enough of it. Come on, it's 2021, folks. Educate yourselves, for fuck's sake.
Boom! We love those moments. Like, that's a mic drop right there on Phat Chat. He just threw it down. Oh my God, that was great.
Yeah.
I love that. And I love your whole notion of like fixing, because that is like the human experience of other people feeling like other people need to be fixed is such a problem. Like, it's just like across the board. Like, you're so great at looking at things globally too. Like, it's like, especially even for me in like rehab, like it was like people looked at me like I'm this broken person that needs to be fixed. And I had to tell them I'm actually a really whole person. I just got addicted to something that wasn't healthy because I was dealing with my emotions in that way. It doesn't mean I'm broken. Right? Some people still look at me like that and don't know how to like navigate it. They're like, whoa, what's going on there? Right? So I just love that whole notion of like the human beings don't actually need to be fixed, right? They need to be loved and then just looked at things in different ways. It's all just different, right? But it's all just beautiful, as you've just so eloquently.
Listen, yeah. Just listen. How, you know, do you want to just listen to them, ask questions and listen to them, you know?
Right.
It's simple, isn't it?
It's simple, right?
You know? Yeah.
We've it very
don't like has like a pre, you know, how do you say in English, man? It's like don't have this preconcept on how people should feel or how they are. You know, just go to them and say, man, how was your day? What are you feeling? You know, how is it to live in a wheelchair? And then you take the answers and make up your mind.
It sounds so normal.
It's not difficult, man. It's not difficult. Yeah. But now they see the guy he's in a wheelchair. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just saying we have about 2 more minutes left, so I wanted to leave the floor to you to either promote yourself or talk about anything that you want to say, or how do people reach you, or anything that you want to kind of shout out to the world. Just please take the opportunity before we close.
Anyway, thanks for inviting me to this lovely talk, Ayanna and Christy. And if guys would like to reach out or get in touch, I've got Instagram account. The name is Good Time to Roll On. My name is Rodrigo Souza, and then you guys can find me there. I am like building up a website now where I'm gonna create like an accessible yoga classes for the disabled, but like is on the making. So if you guys want to reach me, you can reach me through that. And if you come across somebody that has a disability, you know, don't judge them. Don't have like preconcept about them. Just talk to them, listen to them, treat them like yourself. Okay, it's not hard. It's not difficult. Be kind.
Right, be kind. Oh man, I just love this conversation. This really
it was fun.
Brightened my day. Oh my God. Yeah.
It was fun. It was fun.
Oh, it's so refreshing.
Be quiet. I'm inviting him to Cape Cod. You come to the Cape at some point.
Can you come visit us?
Yeah, come visit us. Also, I'll make sure I get to Brazil and Sweden to visit you. So Ayanna and I will do that.
Okay.
When the pandemic lets up a little.
He's laughing because he knows we're serious. He's like, oh boy.
They're coming. They're coming.
No, right?
Okay, girls.
We want to just wind up and say we always send peace, love, and light out to everyone, and we want you to live fit with a PH and
free.
Free. I like this word, free.
Thanks, everyone. Lydia, Christine, Sunny, thanks for tuning in. See you next time.
Out.